Back here at home, after 8 days of deliberations, the John Gotti Jr. jury finally came back with a split verdict today, a mistrial on the most serious charges, and also a knock on the government's evidence. Pablo Guzman was there as the Gotti family left the court claiming victory. Pablo?
Very much so, Jim, Roz. He will have to be retried on conspiring to kidnap and assault Curtis Sliwa, but originally that was an attempted murder charge, and now that no longer exists. Originally, the government told the jury the evidence against John Gotti is overwhelming, but the jury obviously disagreed. And now, after 7 years in jail, John Gotti will go home in a few days on bail, and the government is left to wonder what went wrong. So it was a hung jury, so we'll have to go back for another trial. The Gotti family knows they beat the government this time. They won. Victoria, I know that you always had hope, but it's one thing to have hope, and then you sit there and you see that pretty much it went your way, although you got to go back to court. What's that like?
I can't even, I'm stupefied right now. I'm stunned. I can't even put into words. Happy, happy tears.
Nobody really calls him Junior, not to his face anyway. John A. Gotti was never Junior in his own family, though he shared the same first name as his father, John J. Gotti. Always a reluctant boss, the young Gotti came into the mob family partly to get approval from his father. But as his father's power faded, the young Gotti signed a plea agreement that he believed would let him walk away from the mob after he completed his prison sentence, a deal his mother regretted letting her son make. And as his mother feared, just days before he would have completed his prison term, the feds indicted Gotti again, this time for the shooting of Curtis Sliwa. Curtis Sliwa, whom the government says was kidnapped on Gotti's orders, was not happy with the verdict. The government could not prove Gotti had him shot.
I just have to say, is a little OJ in this jury.
And on the government trying the case again, Gotti's lawyer, Jeffrey Lichtman, who got a huge win today in what was an uphill battle, said this.
Let him go ahead. We were ready before and we'll be ready again.
That guy did some arguing in court. One of Gotti's co-defendants escaped a murder rap. Another co-defendant, Louis Mariani, will be convicted on lesser racketeering charges. He said, hey, when I get out, I'll lose some weight. You won't even know who I am. Check that attitude. By the way, Gotti was also looking at a charge of losing $25 million in assets, including his home. The jury found that he was innocent of that charge. So they're ready to come back on the Curtis Sliwa charge. Reporting live from the courts in Lower Manhattan, Pablo Guzman, CBS 2 News. Roz, Jim.
Thank you, Pablo.